it. And now you gotta get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. What's good, Postal family? If you don't know what I do here, I try to provide some information, and when I get information, I try to give it to you. And that's what I do. We have the loans for feds, federal employee, you need a loan, is there. You need to go and take a vacation. We have purchasing power, is there. Just the links in the video description. I got stuff when I was trying to get my credit situated, is there. Video description. Stuff about buying homes, video description. Everything I talk about that can be helpful to us in the video description below. Now, an individual, he asked an interesting question, and I want to answer the question verbatim. And it is information that you may need as well. I'm not catering to anybody. I'm just going to give you the information. The individual asks, what does an employee do when the employee communicates with management or a supervisor prior, as soon as possible, and management approves it at the time? Now, he asked the question, no context behind it. I had to go and find a video that the individual was trying to talk about. It had to do with attendance and calling out. So there you go. That's the context. So we'll start from the beginning. What does an employee do when the employee communicates with management or a supervisor prior, as soon as possible, and management approves it at the time? Is it appropriate for management to retroactively go back 3 months and disciplines the employee? So here's some facts behind attendance when it comes to attendance. Yes, management can approve you to take off. When you take off, you have to fill out the 3971 form. And let's say month 1, you needed 2 days off or 3 days off or something. They can approve it. Can they use it against you later? It depends on how many times you call out during the quarter. Here's the thing. If you happen to say you call up and you speak to your manager, listen, I can't come in today because my child is sick, and you didn't go through the proper steps. You didn't, go through 3971 or go online and ask for it. You don't have a paper trail of the management approving you. But let's say you did. You decided you did it the right way. Now you got your paperwork and they said it's approved. Then the next month, you go and you do something else. Then the next month you do something else. The problem is that they'll use your attendance for you per quarter of the year, the quarter. So if you called out 12 times in a quarter's every 3 months, it can be used against you because it just shows your history of how many times you've called out. So you're like, well, they approved it already. Yeah, they may have approved it, but you called out that many times. It's just showing a history of not being on time. Management can approve it, yes, and still use it against you later, yes. And it depends on how many times per quarter you can call out. I just said quarter. When does the quarter start? The fiscal year starts around the same time that we do our insurances. So our insurance, when we update our insurance information, is usually around October. So that's around when the fiscal year starts. So every 3 months from October. So every quarter starts from that time. And the paper trail that you leave behind you, yes, it's helpful. Hey, they approved it, they approved it. But that paper trail also shows and it's active for 90 days. So yeah, they'll pull that out and say, well, you know, October 15th through the 20th, you were out. Then November 10th through the 13th, you were out. Then December. So yeah, that quarter, when they pull it all up, when they review your attendance, it can and will be used against you, unfortunately. That's just how it is. Now, how do you get over that, or how you get through that? Go to work. That's pretty much it. Go to work. And I can't cater to a person that says, well, things happen, things do happen. But in any real world, the people at the post office, they need the job done, with or without you. And all you've done is create a stigma about yourself. You created your own reputation. People will know that you're the one that tends to call out all the time. I have people like that in my department. It is a given that there are certain people that are going to take a certain amount of time off every month, whether it's legit or it isn't. But do you want to be known behind your back? Because that's how this post office works. We know Jamie's going to be calling out all the time. Jamie's going to be doing this. That's just who they think you are. So now you got a bad reputation for being the bang out king or queen. Then when it comes time for you to transfer, I spoke about this in one of my transfer videos, you get denied. One of the people said, yeah, they denied me my transfer because of my attendance. As I said before, I don't want somebody that's going to be a problem child coming to my facility, because we already have problem kids at my facility. Who you calling kid? It's like a damn show with this place. Woohoo! Buddy. But hopefully that answered the question as far as attendance. So it's very important that you remember that. The people that have been there for a while, just know that every quarter they can pull up your attendance and it will be used against you, and it can end up with an II, anything. So just be wary of that. I had to speak to my own family about that as well. So, do diligent, because they can use this against you later on. So it's not just you guys that can go through this. It's my own people. All right? This is JH. We out of here.